This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Rajni Jain from editorial team of agricultureinformation.com. Hope you are able to hear me. Okay. The duration of this meeting will be as follows. The duration of this meeting will be about 30 to 40 minutes. We request all the participants to mute themselves to avoid background disturbances. You can either be on audio or video call. Sharing of the videos is individual preferences. I now request the moderator, Mr. Lakshmi Pati, to introduce the speaker and start the meeting. Thank you. Mr. Lakshmi Pati, you are in mute
Can you
mode.
hear, can you hear me? Okay. Good
Now.
afternoon, everyone. I am Lakshmi Patil. I'll be moderating this meeting. Agricultureinformation.com welcomes the guest speaker, Mr. Anil Patil, the Managing Director of Shrestha Seeds Private Limited, and all the other participants to this meeting. Mr. Anil Patil will be speaking on the topic, some ideas for profitable farming. First, the speaker will make his speech on the topic. The participants will be able to ask questions after the speech gets over. Questions can also be added to the chat window. I now request the speaker to begin.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Lakshmipati. Am I audible?
Yes, you are, sir.
So I welcome all the guests who are there to be with us for next 30-40 minutes. And I am Anil Patil. So I am very in Shrestha Seeds we are actually uh, manufacturing and selling seeds of vegetables. And we have got another vertical called consulting, Agri Project Consultants .in. There we are giving hand holding and consultancy on all horticulture, high-tech horticulture projects as well as open farming. Now today's topic is some ideas for profitable farming. So as you know, the agriculture being the backbone of our country was originally considered as a way of life and not as a business. So that was a different time. As the days passed, now it is called as a business, and so everybody wants to know how much I can earn from it. That is the main change that has happened in the almost last 1 decade, I can say. So now, when I say that we want to make profit, so there are certain questions that crop up. We want to produce in all the seasons, whether it is rainy season, winter, cold climate, or hot climate, anything like that. And we also want to select high value crops, which will give us a definite yield also. And for all these things, what happens is the investment connected with this project goes on increasing. And once there is an investment increase, then the next question is everybody would like to know what is the return on investment. So that is what is the topic of the day. That is what is the how to make profit in the agriculture sector. Now all of you know that generally people speak that there is no profitability in agriculture, and then it is always difficult to make profits. Farmers commit suicide and so on and so forth. But actually, all these things are happening because of certain issues. Like any other business here also, if all the parameters connected with profitability are not managed, naturally the investor or the entrepreneur will end up in losses. So that being the case, let us see what is exactly that we have to do. In my approach, what we do is in consulting, we do first conceptualization of the project that we are looking at, and then we go into the details of the project. We go for a detailed project report, and then execution and handholding all these things. So the approach here is I always plan for minimum 35% return on investment. That is, if you put 100 rupees in a project, you should get 35 rupees every year. Like you keep paying in a bank, you see 100 rupees, you get about 6 or 7% interest. In the same way, here it is about 35% return that I should get. That is the minimum plan that I would like to have. Lesser than that is not workable because of the risks involved. So when we have got a plan to have a 35% return on investment, that is the objective of the whole planning, then you will never be in difficulty or losses. So when you decide to have like this, what are the issues that crop up? There are many concerns that would crop up when you look into this issue. One is in Indian condition, the land holding is smaller. It is not a large land holding. So for to sort out this, that means the area of production is lesser. So what is the answer for this? The answer is you have to increase your efficiency. That is, per unit production should be higher. For this, necessary use of technology has to be looked into for higher productivity. Once there is higher productivity, nothing can beat you and bring losses for you. That is very important. The main focus should be higher productivity first. The rest, all the things come later. So this is about small land holding. If you are having larger land holding, then the issue is not this. Naturally, production is going to be larger and management issues will crop up. That is a different. Now, next what happens is you will always face labor issues. That is common in India. See, the labor problem can always be sorted out if you are having a plan to use the labor for all the 365 days. Whenever you are having a seasonal operation like it happens in general agriculture in India, then after the season they are jobless. If that is the situation, then people don't stay with you and you will have labor problem. Second thing is, when there is a labor problem, you can go for some kind of mechanization and automation. See, for example, irrigation is an issue that requires some labor. Sometimes you have to do irrigation during the night also because power is only available in the night. So under these circumstances, if you are having a drip irrigation that also controlled by automation, then this kind of labor issues here can be solved. Now you want to share some others resources, then you can look at agri-service centers which are being encouraged by Government of India and NABARD, wherein some entrepreneurs will start either having sprayer equipments or tractors or any other equipment as a matter of fact, and those agri-service centers will collectively operate for many farmers by renting out and hiring the services. So if you are going to have that kind of arrangement, then your labor for spraying or harvesting can be handled. That has to be encouraged, supported by many governments. So now the investment. Now when we say this, investment is higher. As we start handling like this, the investment becomes higher and higher. So how to reduce the cost or the investment? That is the question involved now. So for that, first of all, if you are using the technology, then wastage can be reduced. The inputs you are putting, but the same thing is not going into the production or productivity. For example, you are using fertilizers, let us say. So it has got a big cost now. After investing on the fertilizers, if you are not having if you don't apply it properly as per the technology, then what happens is either the fertilizer gets dissolved and goes as a leached out solution that is not available in the root zone, or if you are not putting the fertilizer in the proper place, it is not available to the plant, or if the soil pH or the acidity is not proper, then what happens? The fertilizer gets locked and it is not available. You are putting the money, but it is not used by the plant. It is not available for the plant. Thereby, the incomes or the production gets lost. If the electrical conductivity or salt content or sodium content in the soil is higher, then there will be no absorption by the plant. Although fertilizer is available, it is not absorbed by the plant. Then also you are actually incurring the cost, but there is no use of that fertilizer. So these are the things. Likewise, pesticides. The pesticides, when you are using, it should be right pesticide and that should be right time. Thereby, what happens is whatever you are going to put in as a pesticide will be effective to kill the either the fungus or the bacteria or the insect. So if it is not a proper quality, you are just spraying, incurring cost on the chemical as well as labor, but it is not effective. The insect continues to destroy your crop. So here the right knowledge becomes very important. So this is another factor which ensures the profitability of the farming. So then you have to use high volume sprayers. If you are using high volume sprayers, what happens? The fine particles gets easily attached to the leaf surface, and so there is a better spread on the leaf of the pesticide spray that you are giving. If you are using larger volumes, then what happens is the water droplets will fall out or roll out and they reach this soil or the ground. So it is not attaching to the leaf. You should also use what is called a spreader or a sticker. If you don't use it in the routine fashion every time, then again the same thing happens. The surface tension is not reduced, thereby water droplets fall. So next, this is the way that you are going to consider so various things to see that the cost gets reduced. And also you should use integrated pest management, right season to cultivate, and if you want to use nets to protect the plants from the insects, these are another method by which you can reduce the use of pesticides. Then some of the people may even opt for organic farming, which is having self-sustaining logics. Thereby, the pesticides what are required are produced or manufactured by the farmer himself. So that is another logic by which you can reduce your input without depending upon commercial produce. So many people will face issues, risks of water shortage in the ground. So everybody should ensure that every drop of water that falls on your ground is absorbed by the soil and no runoff will take place, and all rainwater is harvested and given to the basic store that is under the soil. Then we will face what I can say as high and low temperature conditions. If you are cultivating something under high temperature, let's say for example tomato, if the temperature is higher, there will be no pollination. So if there is no pollination, your yield will come down. Under such circumstances, you should have the awareness either to protect the crop or reduce the temperature by using net houses, pollinators, whatever is the available situation or the investment that you are going to consider. Then seed becomes a very important item which contributes for the profitability, because a seed has got different capabilities. One is its yield, one is tolerance to temperature, tolerant to different kind of soil based diseases like wilts of fusarium or bacterial wilt, etc. And the seed has got the capability to grow better in saline conditions. So various capabilities are there. So depending upon the need, you should select correct variety of the plant so that you are going to get better yields and it will be working in your favor. Then every cultural practice is very important. When you are irrigating, you should ensure that soil pH and ECs are well maintained and no excess irrigation is given, and also no shortage is created as far as water is concerned. Water is very essential, but excess of water would harm you. That means the produce gets harmed. There will be lower yield if you are giving excess of irrigation. Many times what happens, the farmers are irrigating during night and they switch on the drip irrigation especially, and then go to sleep. In the morning they decide to switch it off, because who will go in the night and again switch it off? So that means there is very too much of excess irrigation that is happening. All the fertilizer is lost, and too much of water brings in wilts like fusarium or bacterial and things like that. So you are actually losing. Even in flood irrigation or the open type of older system of irrigation, people just open the pump set in the night and just leave it for flowing. When the water flows in the open area, it actually dissolves all the fertilizer that is available in the root zone and takes it away, just like a rainwater flowing out of the field. So there also one should know that it is a wrong idea to flood the field too much. Whatever is required, that much only you have to irrigate. That is another area. Now, insect and pests, these are another sector items which are going to create losses for you, which everybody knows. Insects are the one category. Pests we generalize, that is fungus and bacteria and viruses. The most important factor as far as management of diseases and pests is concerned is understanding the life cycle of that pest, whether it is an insect or a disease. So under certain temperatures and humidity, the diseases will spread. Likewise, the insects also will multiply under particular temperature and humidity. So if you are able to change that condition, either by changing the season or by methods, by technology like retractable roofs, greenhouses, etc., then what happens? The leaf will remain dry and the infection cannot happen. So very healthy plant, when it is there, there will be a lot of wax on the cuticle, the upper surface of the leaf, and that will prevent any entry of the fungus or the bacteria. At the same time, if there is no wilting conditions, that rigidity in the leaf is very good, then what happens? The insect is generally not able to attack the plant. The insect can easily attack a plant when there is dehydration in the plant or the turgidity of the leaf is lesser. So that kind of knowledge is very important. And you should also know the breeding place, where exactly the plant, the insect breeds, or the fungus breeds and multiplies. It may be inside your field or even outside your fields. Your farmyard manure pit can be a source where some of the insects multiply. It can be bunds at the border where it can happen. It can be trees around your farm where they multiply and come back. It can be the grass that is growing on the bunds and outside your field is the place where they can multiply and come back. So there are various places where it come back. So we should know that. So all these things put together is called as integrated pest management. So you should know its biology and how to control it, season connected with that, and all these things put together, it's called integrated pest management. So one can even use things like insect trap, using light traps, and you can harvest or collect or kill the insects. And we can also have biological control, that is using certain other biological material which are either bacteria or other insects which are going to infect and or eat, as the case may be. And using those technology also, you can reduce the pesticide spray and then control the disease as well as pests. So temperature control is a very important thing, as I said, in controlling diseases and pests. You should also select resistant varieties. The variety itself will ensure that insect or the disease will not attack the plant. And time of spray is very important. And the night humidity is higher than the wet surface on the leaf at about 3 or 4 o'clock, in the morning is the time when fungal spores sprout and enter the plant. If you are able to keep the night humidity that is around the plant lower, especially in greenhouses. See, our traditional greenhouses which are in India are always totally covered at the top, the polyhouses. And so what happens, it increases the humidity like anything in the night. And temperature is also going to be slightly higher because you are protecting, avoiding the wind flow, etc. So under those circumstances, the fungal infection increases as well as insects multiply a lot. So the modern technology like retractable roof generally opens up in the night as per our decision in fact. So when it is kept open, it is more windy and so the leaf surfaces get dry. So that helps in controlling diseases. So then if the soil is having any pH issues, that is either it is acidic or alkaline, then necessary treatments have to be made so that the fertilizer that you are going to apply are going to be used by the plant. The plant grows well and there is aeration in the plant. If there is high alkalinity, then the soil is not having good aeration. If there is no good aeration and the roots are not able to breathe properly, the uptake is also affected. So this is another technological part which you should know. And as I said, if the pH is higher or lower, locking of environment, phosphorus and potash and these things will happen, and your micronutrients will get locked in under alkaline conditions. So all this knowledge one should have. If we are not going to look into this or we are ignorant of this, we are spending money, but we end up in losses. Then post-harvest losses also has to be looked into. Once you harvest, what we have to do is we have to take out the field heat. That means you have to pass through all the vegetables harvested in a cold water bath so that the field heat is removed. Then you can always keep it in cold storage if you want to have them at your end for some more time. Then if you are taking it to market also, the refrigerated vans you have to take it, which is called as cold chain. And sometimes you can pack these material in a poly plastic bags or poly bags using either nitrogen or ozone or even vacuum. By doing this, the produce stays for a very long time. See, nowadays I saw people are even packing flowers, ordinary flowers, in ozone bags. Thereby, what happens? The lifespan of the flowers can be kept longer. You need not call them perishable immediately in a day or two. They can go up to about a week under ozone condition because all the bacteria that have to spoil the flowers are killed in ozone. Ozone is toxic to it. Then one can also think of preserving the material or the fruits and vegetables by dehydration and preservation in salt or pickling as we call it. Either you are use sugar, vinegar. These are all different types of preservation methodologies that we can adopt and see that our losses are not going to be there. You might have heard every year we see that tomato is being thrown on the roadsides because there is no rate. What is the need? One could have thought of putting the same losses earlier itself in a processing factory, so that every year all the farmers will not lose the produce, but all the produce can go into processing and you are saving the crop instead of throwing it on the roadside. One-time investment, if the people do it, that will solve the problem every year. Nowadays, you see government has encouraged what is called as FPOs, farmer produce organizations. And for processing like tomato, there is up to 70% subsidy on factory and processing unit investment. So if 70% subsidy is coming, why farmers should not utilize it and go for having at every taluka one processing plant? So you can process not only tomato but many other things. So you see there are various opportunities given to you. You have to make use of it. Then there is marketing, very crucial. Most of our farmers are a kind of saints, Rishimunis. See, they say we are producing, we are not going to do any marketing efforts. If at all, if they are going to do some marketing efforts, almost profit can be doubled. In simple language, I can say farmer sells all these vegetables at about 8 or 9 rupees, maximum 10 rupees. Many times it is 4 rupees. When he is selling it at that rate, the consumer food is paying 30, 40, 50 rupees. That means nearly about 30 rupees is going in between. Suppose your cost that you are, I mean, your returns that you are getting is about 8 rupees. Put another 8 rupees for transportation. It is going to cost you 16 rupees. It is going to cost you 16 rupees. And if you sell it by retail chains of your own, then you can earn another 15 rupees extra than what you generally earn by doing farming. So that is a fantastic income that puts you in profitability, and farmers should come together and ensure that retail chains are formed by their FPOs or cooperatives, whatever they call. Thereby, you can make a larger. Then there is financial management. So many people don't look at financial management. They just go into cultivation and they end up in produce and sell it off and forget without looking at how to go about. Some of the points I have already explained. So the financial management comprises of different points like reducing the cost, getting the best deal, getting the best price, quality and branding. All these aspects are going to ensure better profitability. Some of these points that I have shared like this. Now, what happens is one has to plan according to all these issues and ensure that yields are higher and quality produces are made. I think I have made some my points
Okay.
very clear.
Thank you for so much. Thanks for giving so much information. Now I would like to request the participants to raise their questions one by one, please. I think Ms. Rao came on the line immediately. Ms. Rao, you got any question? Or Mr. Mahendra Kumar?
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Anil.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
I'm Mahendra Kumar, a person like me who wants to get into farming. Is there any short-time course or something to understand the all the nitty-gritties of farming? How to plan to go about, how to harvest, what the right kind of vegetables, right kind of fruits to harvest at what time,
Yeah.
because whatever you told is okay, brief, but to implement, to practically get into this, is there any kind of learning, any kind of institute where we can go in Bangalore or something like that, or any online classes like this? Can you
Yeah.
please let me know
See,
on this?
there are agricultural universities traditionally giving agricultural degrees. Apart from that, there are certain schools which are training the what I should say supervisory type of training given to the people. Then even if you are in Bangalore, in Lalbagh also they are having a training center where they are going to help. Then there are small private parties who are training under hydroponics but not general farming. So there are certain opportunities like that to learn. More than that, you see, the learning process cannot be completed in a very short period because the subject is very vast.
Vast. Okay.
Yeah. So that being the case, the if at all if one is passionate and he wants to go deeper into this field and get into that seriously, then I would rather feel better to tie up with somebody who is going to be a hand-holding person, mentor or something like that, or consultant, whatever word you want to use, and start farming operations. So thereby, by practical methods, you can learn one by one. See, in fact, you see, last 3 years I traveled from Bangalore to a place called Motipur. That is first to Patna, 2 hours flight. From there, another 3 hours by drive. Every month I
Okay.
used to stay there for 4 days, and it was a large farm. And then the person learned a lot. He's a chartered accountant, in fact. So he every day in the night we used to sit and talk when we are going for the field inspection. There we were going to talk like that, point by point, point by point. He is able to grasp something apart from reading some of the books I suggested. So
Right.
if you are going for a plan like that, you have to work with some teacher like that, and then step by step. Let us say you are going to cultivate a particular crop this time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
about that crop, you can start asking questions, collecting data, and then develop yourself. So this method would work better than going to a school and in about 15 days or 20 days time they're going to teach something which you will not be able to absorb. So practical teaching would be better idea. Many people are doing with me also.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Mr. Anil, you are from Bangalore?
Yeah, I'm from Bangalore, Jayanagar.
Okay, great. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other person questions?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Anil. Mr. Shirish has got a question. Mr.
Yeah.
Shirish?
Yeah, yeah. Doc, Dr. Anil Patil, this is Shirish. I'm calling from Hyderabad. It's nice to have
Okay.
you on the show.
Thank
I
you.
understand through your talk that every crop has its different science to implement,
Yeah.
and trying to learn all the sciences for each plant becomes extremely difficult.
Correct.
So, like a aspiring entrepreneur like Mahendra Kumar and myself,
Yeah.
is it a good idea to hire a crop scientist before starting any of the agriculture activities? Thank
Yeah,
you.
that is what I said. The terminology that you use can be different. Crop scientist or a mentor or an advisor or a consultant, whatever word you want to use. So you can always tie up, particularly if you are a fresh, totally new to the field, you can have a association with a person like that, and at least start one or two crops, whatever you want to start. And for those crops, you start learning. And when you start learning for certain crops, what happens? You will learn the basics of the science, agricultural science, and specific to that particular crop, whatever you are growing. So with that, I think you will gain lot of knowledge, and afterwards you are earning as well as learning. So that is the method that you can follow, because going to school and buying lot of books and sitting with that, it will take years. As you know, a doctor or a agricultural scientist would take about 10 years to achieve that level. So you can't go that way. So better to go with a mentor or a consultant or advisor, whatever you call, and then in one or two seasons you will learn a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for answering the question. I have one more generic question. Can I ask?
Yeah, yeah, please.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. So it looks like on this particular forum, we have more or less the new breed of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So who especially don't want to dirty their hands by putting their hands in the mud, really. So, sir, in
Mhm.
such a scenario, after the post crop, do you think branding of the particular crop that we are coming up with and packing, branding, do you think that holds any good in making yourself big in the future in this field? Thank you.
No, when you are actually producing on a scientific scale and in a particular planned way, it is always good to take up marketing yourself in whatever level it is. So that means to say quality control, packing, branding, uh, uh, helps the market to recognize your product produce. Thereby, since you are giving quality, next time they can ask your product specifically. That is branding basically. So if you are able to do that, then naturally your demand for your products or produce will be higher. So that helps you a lot. Have I answered your question?
Yes,
Mr.
sir. Thank you
Shirish?
so much.
Thank you. Nice. Mr. Kiran has got a question, I think so. Mr. Kiran,
Yes, yes. Good
please.
afternoon, sir. Good afternoon,
Yeah.
Mr. Patil.
Yeah,
Thank you
Kiran,
very
tell me.
much for being a part of the group. And, I've been all ears listening to every word that you've been saying. Thank you. I'm a first time farmer, so I have a small piece of land close to Mysore, about
Okay.
2 acres. So essentially, I was doing a
Mhm.
little bit of English vegetable, but now we are also growing a few aromatic plants. Um,
Okay.
I had a couple of questions. Firstly, you mentioned that we've got to aim at getting to a number of about 35% in
Yes,
terms of
yes.
ROI. So are
Yeah.
these numbers post all expenses, including supposing we work with your firm, is this ROI excluding your fee as well?
No, I could not hear you. This
Sir,
ROI,
you
last sentence.
mentioned we've got to look at 35% as the ROI, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So 35% is post all expenses.
Naturally, no.
Okay, so that is including your, the management
Yeah,
fee and stuff like that.
that is what I said. If I say that I want to get 35%, that is on your behalf, I'm saying I want 35%. So naturally, all costs have to be covered, and then that has to be 35%. And
Okay.
the point is that we have to select the crop and the plan in such a way that I will achieve that.
Okay. So in terms of assessment, basically I have, a combination loamy soil on my land. I've got a canal which is fairly close by, so I've got access to water pretty much through the year. It's about 9 to 10 months in the year. So do
Okay.
you have some sort of an assessment, initially that you do an assessment to see what you could do at the farm?
Yeah,
Is that part
naturally.
of your?
First, we have to make a visit and then sit with you, talk to you. What are your likes and dislikes? What is your investment? What is your farm management capability? Every day you are in the farm, or you want to come only weekends. All these are so many factors, and we have to see whether there is any wildlife attack nearby, whether wild boars are there, elephants are coming, monkeys are coming, all kinds of things are there, apart from the basic soil and weather conditions. So after that, we have to decide the crop what we want to cultivate.
Okay. All right. So you will do an
Basic assessment.
assessment, and then based on discussions with the grower, then you'll come
Yeah,
out with a strategy,
yeah,
suggest a strategy.
correct, correct.
And typically, what are your fees, sir, in terms of a ballpark?
Fees, you see, it all depends upon the type of a project that we look at. If it is
Mhm.
only a visit, just visit and support for small projects like yours, it is the day visit is charged 5,000 rupees. You may need 1 or 2 visits per month. The rest of the time you can always be online and ask questions and learn things like that. So that would say, even if it is it costs about 1,20,000 per year, but then the plan should be in such a way that after this expenditure also you should earn 35%.
Right. Right. So, thank you very much for that. Just to get a basic idea as to what we're looking at, because definitely smaller farmers,
Yeah, I
every
understand.
obviously 35% looks very, very attractive, but then 35%
Definitely.
is after substantial investment initially. For a smaller grower, it might be, it might be a challenge, but of course,
It all depends. It all depends. What exactly is the plan? Costing of the total project depends upon the plan. And we will also sit with you to understand what is your capability. And accordingly, we give the technology also.
okay. Another question that I had is, see, any form of commercial farming, there are two ways to enhance profitability. Firstly, is increasing your yield, actual
Yeah,
production. You increase production, reduce your spoilage or pilferage.
yeah,
That is one.
correct.
The second is where whatever you're producing, increase the profit, increase the price that you're going to get. So there are
Selling price.
basically, sorry.
You mean selling price? Increase the selling price.
Correct. So essentially, there are
Yeah,
two ways. One, you increase
yeah.
your yield. The second is, which could be complementary, is where you try and get the best possible price for whatever you're growing.
Exactly. Both are
So
correct.
how do you help with marketing, sir?
See, marketing is actually an activity. So many times I suggest to the people you should have a retail outlet of your own. So if you do that, either a single farmer or a group of farmers put together, then what happens is, as I said in my talk earlier, uh, your cost to reach the produce to the selling point will be 16 rupees per kilo, and you will be selling at 30 to 40 rupees per kilo. So another 25 rupees is available to you as your marketing profit for your marketing efforts. So if you are
Mhm.
not going to do that effort, naturally you are going to lose. Whether it is the cement industry or steel industry, it is the wholesalers, retailers, several people are there who want to make their 10 or 15%. And manufacturer is always at a difficult situation. So if you are able to come together, make a collective effort, or singly you can handle it and go for marketing efforts, then definitely that additional 25 rupees is yours.
Okay, but what about other associations, possibly with
No, there are
there are the
so many things are said, but this is the best thing that I'm talking. If you go with something else, it may be slightly lesser in your profit earning. because somebody else enters, he will keep his 10%. That's all.
That's true. I mean, the fewer people on the chain, obviously, your
Yeah.
the cut
Correct.
you get is higher.
Yeah. Correct.
Now, in terms of in terms of seed, what are the kind of seeds that you propagate? Are you looking at hybrid seeds? Are you looking at heirloom or country seeds? What is it that you would
No,
suggest?
we see generally seed companies means we have to only give hybrid seeds. Apart from that, OP seeds we call open pollinated seeds, but that is generally having a lesser quality. It is hybrid seeds which have been bred for disease resistance or higher yield, etc. They are generally marketed by seed companies.
But these hybrid seeds you cannot use in the following year because you don't get a true type.
Yeah, why are you bothered about using it for the next year? See, it is a cost. See, when you are earning, let us say about 1 lakh rupees, a cost of about 5,000 rupees for the seed is perfectly okay.
Right. Right. So you promote obviously being in the agri business, so you promote hybrid seeds.
No, it is not the question of promoting. It is one logic. See, if you want to do OP cultivation also, and there is open pollinated seeds also, you can do it. But then what happens? It is lower in technology, so it will not have a uniformity as far as yield and produce or the plant growth is concerned. If you are accepting that, it is fine. Then what happens is it can get affected by diseases and pests. Some, especially breeding, that what we have done for, that is urgent. So naturally, there are certain issues. What you say is hardly a few,
There are
two
also
or 3,000.
natural hybrids. There are also natural hybrids which are available, right, in some seeds.
No, see, when we say hybrid, it is always F1, the first generation of the cross. So natural hybrids are called as stabilized varieties, not hybrids.
Right. So one
Yeah,
last
hybrid
question.
means first, yeah, okay.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay.
You were saying something.
Yeah, that is hybrid means two parents are taken, they are crossed, and the seed what comes out. That is called F1. That is first generation.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that
aware of
filial
that.
first generation or filial generation one they call. So that is
But
called
but
as
at the end
hybrid,
of the
F1 hybrid.
day, the offspring that you get, there is no assurance of any kind. I mean, it could have.
No. See, when in the breeding process, they do like this and get lot of variety crosses. Out of that, the crosses are tested for their quality issues. Then the one which is having the best results are released for market. Not everything is released.
Yeah, because I have used hybrid seeds. I've also used indigenous seeds, and I guess you could argue both ways. But anyways, I mean, that's fine. The last question I had is you mentioned excessive irrigation during the nights, which certainly is a
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Obviously, with rural areas, most of the power actually, provided only in the late evenings.
Right. Yeah.
What about also this excessive spraying that you see as a pattern all through? I mean, there's a lot of spraying it's sort of hyper excessive, if you ask me, because
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the end of the
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
the soil is also a living, it's a living organism. So it's something which is alive, and putting in so much of chemical which eventually seeps into the soil, in the long run, I don't know where it takes all of us.
Voice missing.
Hello?
Your voice did not come through final end point.
Right. So what I was saying is, primary to any form of agriculture is soil. And with the excessive spraying that we have, we are abusing the soil, every year. And over
Actually, you see, there are two issues.
a period
The
of
spray
time,
that
we're going to
the
have issues with the soil. What are
yeah,
your thoughts?
yeah, I'll tell you. The spray that you are going to use on the leaf is always very, very small quantity, and that generally doesn't harm the soil. It can harm the plant leaf. What harms the soil is when there are soil-based diseases, fusarium wilt or bacterial wilts. Then what people do is they drench the soil. Drench means straight away giving a bath with the pesticide. So about a 1 liter or 2 liter chemical is poured in the root zone. So that will actually damage a lot. In fact, see, that is what we call as integrated pest management, in which we would suggest just to use a lot of other things like that, like pongemia, oil cakes. Okay, so those oil cakes can act as fertilizer as well as anti-insects or anti-fungal agents, like neem cakes, neem oil cake. These things, if you are
Right.
using, the need to treat the soil will be very much lesser. As far as treating the plant is concerned, you should use the right quality pesticide so that only required percentage can be used. If you are using a inferior quality pesticide, then you have to put double the quantity or triple the quantity. Next thing is other things, like you have to catch the insects by using light traps and hormone traps. Use the other insects who come and eat your pests. So such things are all put together. It is called as integrated pest management. All these practices, if you follow, then it is going to help. Then there is what is called as catch crops. For example, you see there is what is called as aphids, a small type of sucking insects that come on the
Right.
most of the vegetable crop. So if you are
Right.
using, let us say, a crop like mustard, you see, as a catch crop, then it catches all the aphids on its own on this plant, and this plant is sprayed, and then you can get rid of the insects to a great extent. Likewise, use marigold in the field. It catches the nematodes in the soil and then holds it in the roots of the plant. So such procedures are there, which you carefully or intelligently use it, then pesticide use can be reduced. This is apart from handling logic of organic farming.
Right. Right. So,
Thank
in
you.
fact,
Thank you.
on my small farm, try to retain it as natural as possible. So we haven't used any sprays. We haven't used any fertilizers as well. We've
Okay,
kept it
organic.
compost. It's completely compost based.
Okay, good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I think Mr. Sudhir Deshpande has a question. Please ask Mr. Sudhir Deshpande. Mr. Sudhir Deshpande? Okay, he has put his question in the chat box. I will read it out for him. Mr. Anil
Okay.
Patil, he has a
Yeah.
question. His question is, can you please explain minimum investment for processing unit, cold storage unit?
Oh, this is a very different question. See, the investment size of the process depends on various tech factors. What is the product that you want to process? What is the volume, installed capacity that you are going to put in? Do you want to have all around the year? And then uh, how much automation you want, how much manually you want to do. All these things put together, the costing goes. But to give a very general idea, it's very difficult, because what happens in agricultural produce processing, capex or the capital cost is one thing. The opex or the operational cost is there. That is going to be very huge. See, to give a simple example, about 3 crores or 4 crores, if you put a mango juice factory capex is handled, whereas working capital required will be 10 crores. So you have to actually go sit with that logic and design and check up what is the cost involved. Anyway, if you want a figure, minimum about 4 to 5 crores capital investment and about 4 to 6 crores working capital is required.
Thank you, Mr. Anil. Thank you. Mr. Brito has got a few questions. Mr. Brito, can you raise your question, please?
For vegetable crops in a
Yes, please go ahead, Mr. Brito. Yes.
like near about Bangalore,
Yeah.
would you
Selvin,
suggest
no, not coming. Audio not coming. Audio.
in and around
No,
Bangalore?
no, Mr. Brito, you are not clear.
Can you hear me now?
Your audio. Now you can go ahead.
Yeah.
Which is the ideal crop mix in a city like Bangalore, outskirts? Which combination of vegetable crops is ideal?
No,
Like
see, any
after
city you
tomato?
see all the vegetables are equally important. Out of
Yeah,
which you can choose which are the vegetables which are sold at a costly price. See, for example, bitter gourd is there. Bitter gourd, Karela is there. Kannada it is called Hagelkail. Other
yeah,
languages I don't know. Fine.
yeah, yeah.
So there you see the traditional one. If it is sold at about 30, 35 rupees, 40 rupees kilo, there is what is called a choo-choo type of bitter gourd, which is a very small one, which will be sold at around 70 or 80 rupees a kilo. So even when you are planning to grow this bitter gourd, you can always choose that particular variety or type, so that the produce is having much higher rates.
Okay.
So you have to choose that depending upon the area and methodology. If you are going to have it for retail shop, then you should have multiple sowings per year, because all throughout the year you want to grow the crop, and then you want to have many different crops, not one or two crops. So that is a different one. So depending on that, you have to design.
Thank you.
My other,
Mr.
my other
Prashant
questions
has
you
got
already
any
answered.
question? Yeah, who is this? Mr. Brito, please go ahead. You have a question.
Yeah.
Okay,
My other questions he has answered already because he has
okay,
covered a
okay,
large number of topics. Yeah.
okay.
Okay,
Mr.
thank you.
Prashant has got any question, please? Mr. Venkat, Mr. Mahendra Kumar, any questions from you? Okay, Mr.
Yeah,
Shirish?
this is Shirish again. Yeah, I have a question, very generic again. Um, Mr. Patil, I just wanted to know, how do you see innovation in agriculture, innovation and integration of innovation in agriculture? For
Oh,
instance,
okay.
do we go with the traditional crop itself or try and innovate something different? What are your ideas, please? Thank you.
See, innovation is a very broad word. It can be as simple as using testing the soil for pH and electrical conductivity. That can be an innovation part of it, and accordingly apply the fertilizers so that you reduce lot of fertilizer application. You ensure the yield increase in a very simple way. This is also innovation. And if you go for high-tech digitalized control systems of irrigation or fertigation, and then a retractable roof where the roof is kept open or closed to with a prefixed humidity and sunlight, that also is a technological innovation which is applied. So it all depends upon the level at which you want to bring in that innovation and application of the technology. So everywhere there is
Thank you.
scope at different levels.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Anil. Now I have a few questions in the chat box, chat window. I'll just read it out for the people who have raised the questions. And now the
Yeah.
first question goes like this. How many people you have in your firm? Your clients may have firms located in different parts of the country. Do you have the necessary bandwidth to ensure that all these clients get your complete attention?
Very good question. See, my profession is like a surgery profession, surgeon. So when there is a surgeon and I go to him, I don't like his assistant to come and operate on me. I have gone to the surgeon and I want the surgeon to operate. The reason behind is that each expert has got his own way of approach. And if other person is sent as subordinate or anybody else, his approach will be entirely different. My planning he will reject and he will have his own planning. It even happens in hospitals where the head of the department has got one opinion and other consultants can have other opinions. So such issues crop up. What we do for this reason is I generally operate as a main consultant throughout India. As I told you, my consultation went into Patna, that is Bihar also, which is about 2 hours flight from Bangalore. What we do is we'll have a local technical person put there, farm supervisor type, who understands what guidance we want to give, just like nursing staff we can say. And I will be guiding and giving the total protocol or SOP or standard operating procedure, all these things. Whatever is given, he has to follow it. And the owner or the farmer also will be naturally interested in knowing whether the given thing has been followed or not. So that way, the entire control can be kept. We have got the people who can stay on the farm, who are educated, equipped, or trained. So they will look after day-to-day operations. So it can be handled throughout India, many farms.
Okay. Thank you. The next question is, do you provide any buyback agreements to your clients, that is, give them a guarantee that what they produce on their land will get sold? Do you exercise such a clause in the agreement?
Sir, buyback guarantee can be given only by those who are marketing a produce. So you can look at buyback from large groups like Metro and whatnot, Big Basket and more. All these people are giving a kind of buyback, but those buybacks do not mean that they will definitely purchase. They will just enter into an agreement with you to buy the produce. Once your produce is ready, you have to inform them. Then they will give you an order so that you can supply to that. The
No,
real
sir.
buyback.
Suppose you are engaged as a consultant. I engage you as a consultant. Do you work out even the modalities of the buyback arrangement also? Can you work
Yes,
up to that
yes.
stage?
Certain things we suggest as marketing support that we are talking about. We give
Okay.
this information or the idea, but the total buyback arrangement happens only when it is under contract farming. Like you see producing tomato for Kisan or gherkin that you are going to produce for gherkin factories. Those are totally purchased. So that is total buyback.
I see. Okay. And you might can you please give some reference of any project that you would have undertaken and which had been very successful so far
Yeah,
and
one
can be
is
a model
I
for
told
other
you.
entrants?
No. Model is a very difficult word because
The
each
model in the
design is
sense,
different.
you would have given consultancy to certain people, which has been running very successfully. Those references, if we can cite, then it will be very good exemplary, isn't it?
Yeah. See, I always say that there is no Rangoli book. Give the dots and I will connect it, and a beautiful design is created. That will not happen. Even if you get a total connection with a person who has done the job, and if you want to do the job, that information will be of very little use because your design, your problem, your size, your marketing strategies, your labor management, your investment, everything is different. So it is always a tailor-made solution at every level. But even
Okay.
just for the sake of naming purpose, if you want, I have got one. I told you one farm in Bihar, which is uh, about 400 acres totality, and about 100 acres lychee, and about 40-50 acres mango, and about 30 acres in vegetable. The rest, of course, the sugarcane and other field crops are there. So I designed one project in Hyderabad, which is still in the construction stage, which is about 15 acres with a 30 crore investment. That is 2 crores investment per acre. So that just it is taking shape. Because of this Corona, COVID problems, last 3 months, the construction has got delayed. So that will probably start production in the month of November.
Okay. Any questions from other participants, please? Mr. Uday Kumar just came in. Any questions? Mr. Kiran, you have any question?
No.
Mr. Kiran, you want to ask something?
No, sir. I'm good. Mr. Anil has been
Oh,
very, clear with his messaging, and
oh,
thank you very much. I don't have any
okay.
questions right now.
Okay, Mr.
Yeah,
Anil, there's one
anybody
more
who wants,
question.
who has got specific questions or discussions, they can contact me later
Yeah.
on also because everything
Yes.
cannot be talked later
Your
on.
share number will be shared among the
Yeah,
participants and in the portal also, so that
yeah,
anybody wants any advice also, they can come up to you
correct.
and ask. There's one more question, Mr. Anil. They say
Yeah.
you would have taken a lot of projects so far. Have they all been successful? If they have not been successful, what are the reasons that you are citing for the failures?
Oh, very good question. Very good question. You see, for anything to happen, the wheel and the cart and the bullock all should be there. The wheel, the cart, the bullock, and the driver all should be there. If at all, if everything is there but one is missing, the project fails. So it is the ability of the entrepreneur or the farmer to put all these things together that is very important. People do fail if they don't do all the things together. and do compromise. Okay, I will have cart, wheel, but not the bullock, then it will not work. So any compromise that you make generally creates losses. See, some people do everything but don't put fence for the farm. That will not work. So that is very important. For success, everything should be there in place.
Okay. It's nice of you. Thank you so much. And I hope we have come to the end of the questions. Yes, yes. You anybody?
Yeah, this is Kiran. Do we have time for a quick question?
Yeah.
Very shortly. You can go ahead. You can go ahead. Please go ahead.
Mr. Patil, in terms of the the legal documentation for I don't know if you call it an agreement or an MOU. So what sort of a document that you actually put in place once you take up a project?
Talking about my services.
Yes. So suppose I am to avail your services. So do we get into a do you have a template in terms of a format for an agreement, or do you have an MOU? What
Nobody goes for any template or agreement, because you see, it is something like I told you, like a profession of a surgeon. You can't have an agreement and a contract with the surgeon that something happens like this. It goes by the reputation of the consultant or the surgeon, based on which you choose. The rest is love and affection with each other. By writing 100 conditions, it will not take anywhere. It is love and affection.
Okay.
Because we also love to see that you succeed.
I'm sorry?
We also love to see that you are going to succeed. It is my child.
Very true.
Yeah,
very true. I'm sure.
Naturally.
Yes. For
it is
for
so
a
sad
professional.
if somebody fails, you know.
Absolutely. I mean, there's I can talk for myself, being involved in farming now, after spending considerable amount of time in the corporate world in the city, getting to the countryside and doing this is something which drives me a lot, and that's the whole point in putting in the time and effort. And as a last thing, I wanted to ask you is you also have a lot of specialization in protective farming.
Yep.
So apart from polyhouses, greenhouses, do you also propagate other forms like, maybe aquaponics or hydroponics, growing
They all come
microgreens?
together. See, these are all different technologies. See, an ultimate thing will be a retractable roof with a hydroponics system and a fertigation with automatic controls, and of course the rooftop etc. is computer controlled. Okay, so like this, all the things that they put together becomes a perfect system. If you cut something,
Okay.
yes, it is there. Cut.
So within your consulting, coverage, do you also have somebody on the technology side, possibly, someone who understands Internet of Things, the technologies which are being used in agriculture today to bring in more efficiency? Do you have someone in-house, or do you kind of tie up with somebody
No,
external?
what we do is we have got association of people. Whatever requirement is there, that person is called and he will take up the job. See, like pathologist is there, entomologist is there, and then irrigation experts are there, and greenhouse experts are there. So whatever mix I want, those people will be put in that particular project.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Fine.
Thank you. I think we have now completed the round of questions. I like to thank the speaker, Mr. Anil Patil, for giving very informative speech on some ideas for profitable farming. Thank you, Mr. Anil Patil. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I once again thank the speaker, Mr. Anil Patil, for giving such an informative speech and taking time to speak with us. And also, I thank all the participants. Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. And now I request the organizer of the meeting, Ms. Rajini Jain, to please close the meeting.
Thank you.
Sir, since I've entered late, this recorded message, when it will be available in the blog, sir?
Definitely, it will be available in the, this recording of this meeting will be available in the portal.
Is it
In the next 1 to 2 days, we'll upload it. Next 1 to 2 days, we'll upload it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Anil Patil, and thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Lakshmipati,
madam.
and all the participants for joining this session. It was a very good detailed session. Thank you all. I'm closing the call
Thank you.
now.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.